know.
To Waimea. Actually, welcome back to you.
Yes.
She really did leave.
I did really leave.
Let us know where you went to. We're just going to dive right into it because this is some juicy stuff.
We talked about it a bit in the hydration video.
Did we?
Yeah, because I was on my way.
And we were going to make sure that she was hydrated.
Right.
That's right.
Yes, I was on my way to Mexico. And so now I'm back and it's
such an amazing
boring
experience. I know. Well, it's like raining outside right now as we're doing this. So I'm sure you're like, meh.
Yes, I did. I had an amazing experience. It was awesome.
Gosh.
It was absolutely awesome. I mean, aside from being able to, be in 85-degree weather every day and, blue sky and it was all gorgeous. It was just a really, really, really good time. And I think, just a really good time for me to just kind of chill a little bit and regroup a moment.
Which is very, we rarely get those times to regroup and get reconnected with ourselves.
Yeah.
And you actually, I know some people may know you, but some people don't.
Yeah.
So you actually went by yourself.
I did. I went by myself. I know.
Everything that everybody wants to do. You cannot sit there across over this camera and not tell me you do not want to do that. I have been dying to do that. I think that is so, it's just so inspirational and so fun. I think a lot of people get nervous. They're fearful. Maybe if it's not just about the trip in and of itself, the planning that goes into it, maybe just having that alone time with yourself is so. It's so big. I think a lot of people get fearful of it.
Agreed.
Right?
I think, it took me some months to get used to the idea of doing it. And I think, if you start to sort of reframe your thoughts around going somewhere by yourself, first of all, taking the time just for you to get away to do it.
Yes.
Getting over that hurdle idea. And then once you get over that hurdle, saying, okay, am I going to be able to handle myself for 7 days? Like, am I going to be bored? Am I going to be sick and tired?
That's the first thing I would have thought of, for sure.
I was not bored.
Oh my gosh. I saw the pictures.
I was not bored.
And I got one FaceTime. I did get a FaceTime. A few FaceTimes, but
yeah. Oh wait, do you want to pour some wine?
Well, speaking of vacay, and speaking of all the delicious, beautiful blue skies and blue water. Yes. What do you have for us today?
So we picked the Tonino. There we go.
Yay.
Mediterraneo. So this is a really awesome new find that I got a few weeks ago. Actually, right before I went on vacation. This is from Sicily, but it is Chenin Blanc from Sicily, and I can tell you right now, I have never had Chenin Blanc from Sicily. Chenin Blanc is a grape from France. It is usually from the Loire Valley. It's a nice kind of rich white. It's perfect for seafood. It has some creamy notes usually. And super interesting from Sicily. Sicily has, obviously, it's an island. It's volcanic.
Right.
And so there's volcanic soil there. And a lot of times when you have wines from a volcanic soil, a lot of minerality comes through in the wine. And so you get a little minerality along with all the other sort of stereotypical characteristics of Chenin. I was blown away by this. And when you think about where a wine grows or where grapes grow, and I may have said this before, but what grows together goes together. Mm-hmm. And so this, and the fact that it's on the island of Sicily, think about all the seafood that's around Sicily. It's gonna go with all of those things. So a great summertime choice. Cheers.
Yes. Especially if you're going on vacation.
Right, and I was gonna say you can close your eyes and just imagine, and actually there's even a little bit of salinity on the nose that gives you a hint of the ocean.
I mean, does it? Maybe you're still smelling the salt too.
Maybe, but I feel like it has a little bit on the palate.
Well, honestly, we saw it, so I saw this and I was like, that is where I want to go. I actually want to go to the Mediterranean. Yep. She's gotten me on this kick of going on this like vacay, and I'm like, man, I would love to go to Greece. I mean, that is where I would want to go. But,
and then I was saying that it's on my bucket list. Santorini is
so
on my
maybe
bucket
we'll just
list.
do
So that's
an actual video. That's the next episode.
That's the next. Well, we'll
have to make it the next episode. Yeah. That'll be a good motivator. So next week we're going to
out. We're gone.
Yeah. But I mean, imagine if you could like actually do that. Like going back to that whole, you know, planning something for you.
Right.
And not making it feel like, because you even had mentioned this, that a lot of people are like, oh, you know, are you by yourself? Are you here with anyone?
Right.
And being okay to be like, no.
Right.
I'm like doing this for me.
Yeah,
like, what are you talking about?
And I did have to answer that question initially quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
but after I answered it a number of times, then they got the picture and they realized that I was there by myself.
And probably respected that a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? I think it was fun for them because I think they're used to, you know, dealing with couples, and so it was fun because they were always super chatty, and you know, I didn't go there to, you know, make lots of friends or, you know, I really went there for me.
Yeah.
To not have to, you know, ask anybody what they wanted to have for breakfast or lunch or when they wanted to go to the pool or the beach or when they wanted to do this or that, and it was really, really, really nice. And I think the one thing that I realized in the beginning was that there is a difference between unhealthy isolation and healthy solitude.
Right.
And, you know, we all get to the point where sometimes we can just overstretch, and all we want to do is retreat. Mm-hmm. Don't have anybody around me. I'm not, you know, people ask me out for dinner. No, I'm going to stay home. People ask me to do this. No, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to stay here, wallow, put my head in the sand, whatever.
And almost not even wallowing, but some people feel legitimately stuck. Yeah. Or they feel like they just can't move. It's almost like quicksand.
Right.
And you feel like the more you try to get out, the further you fall.
Right.
So some people just stay in that one space.
Right. And so, and honestly, you know, I had that sort of gut check, like, is this me unhealthy trying to isolate myself? Mm-hmm. Is this need to go and do this vacation that, or is it really an opportunity for me to have some healthy solitude? And the only way to know is to do it. The only way to know is to do it. And I was pretty sure that I was in the right frame of mind to be able to say, I'm going, and I'm going to embrace this. I had a few things that I knew I wanted to do while I was there, but otherwise it really wasn't any kind of a plan. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, I've been back a week and a half. Yeah. And over the weekend, as I got home, and what I was thinking about was, how can I recreate that feeling that I had at home? Because obviously I was gone for a week, but it felt great while I was there. And there's the time of being there is minute compared to what we have to do every day.
Well, and sometimes people can't take that long off.
Agreed.
Like physically take the 6 days. So,
but how can you replicate
everyday
that
life?
Feeling?
Yeah, absolutely.
To be able to reconnect with that sort of healthy solitude and just recharge yourself for an afternoon, for 20 minutes, for however long that is, to just sort of reconnect, because it energized me a lot. And I got a little bit of a I need to go to see the ocean, or I need to go see a body of water.
Yeah.
And so I drove up to the lake.
Yeah.
and just drove around, and I was going to get out, and then it was busy, and I'm like, I'm just going to look at the lake and just see the boats, and it was really like a nice little respite. And so if that's what I can do as time goes on to just sort of give myself reconnect, maybe, even if it's just sort of visualizing and reconnecting to where I was and what I did.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really good, and actually something that I have recently done as well. Thank you to Kim Waters Rose, who is, we both know her very well, or she knows us very well.
And she was on the Thanksgiving episode.
She was talking about family.
Right.
She nailed it. But so she had actually promoted me to do a vision board.
Yes.
And so that's kind of the journey that I am on now, which actually Greece was on my vision board, and you had just taken this amazing trip too, which is so awesome. And so I think maybe having something like that, I know that sounds really small, but it kind of brings you back to what you truly want. I know personally for me, I'm a giver. I'm a please, and I'm like, yes, I will. I'm a yes gal.
Yes.
I'm a too much yes gal. And so I'm wanting to do so many things for so many other people that when I actually do sit down in the silence, in that solitude, it almost is unhealthy because I'm like, oh, no. What else can I do for someone else?
Right.
I never think about what I necessarily would want to do or where I'd want to go. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
And so that vision board has really kind of helped clear me mentally to be like, even my goals, like, how do I want to get there? And it takes time.
Yep.
And it evolves, which I didn't know. I thought it would be bad if it evolved. But it's
the vision board?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know, you keep you have these big things, but then you also can have little small things. And that's okay if they, maybe you accomplish it or maybe something else comes up. And so it's been really fun to watch that. And it's also taken time for me to actually put into that, which has been super actually uncomfortable because I never spend that much time. So I think like with people who feel that way a lot, maybe that's a smaller place to start and then really go through those motions, and then you actually find out what you really do want to do.
Yep.
Whether that is go to the beach or go to the mountains or ski, hike, whatever it is.
Or even just drive up to the lake and drive
like
around.
read a book. I would not be reading a book.
Yeah,
but,
me neither, but
I'll listen to the audio tape while we're driving up there.
Right.
But it's so different. Everybody's so different.
Yep.
And I never really realized that until I started doing a vision board myself, and I was like, I had no idea and I was like, I don't know why I thought about that.
Yeah, see? And it helps give you a sense of direction.
Yes.
And it is very, very helpful. I did one a long time ago. I haven't done one recently.
You should do
one. I should do it. Well, it's funny. I was cleaning my closet and I found the vision board that I did from a long time ago. And
that's so cool.
And all the things that were on the vision board are still things that I
want to accomplish and do.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would add a few things, but definitely the ones that are on there are still ones that
that's what I'm saying. Like they can evolve, which is so cool. So how long ago was that?
10 years ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
10 years ago. Yeah.
Well, and then too, I mean, especially because you had the opportunity, which is amazing to have that 6 day of just really pulling through all of the things. I mean, it has to be, positive, negative, unsure, but very certain on, all these different things that probably did help you, like you said, regroup and reconnect. So are you like nervous now to not have that, and that's why you're trying to find that balance? Or
you know what, I think it's not so much nervous, but I realized that the feeling that I had is a requirement.
Yeah. I love that.
Is a requirement. It's not. It is a way for me to manage all of the moving parts that I have in my life all the time.
Yeah.
And to just be able to reconnect in just a small way to that feeling gives your brain a bit of the vacation, for just a second or just a couple of hours or whatever. So I really do. I came back from the vacation thinking, when am I going to plan another one?
Yeah.
Like, this is not a one and done.
No.
This is not a one and done.
I'm so
which I thought it might
we have
be.
to go to Greece.
I know.
I'm so thankful for this whole thing. I'm glad you're keeping it going.
I know.
We got to go. Now we've promised and we've committed to these people.
We did.
We would do a video out there.
Yeah. Well, we can.
I know.
We can go. We can go to Greece. But I really did think maybe when I left that this would be like the check off the vision board. Like, I didn't have go on a vacation by myself on my vision board, but I thought, okay, I'm going to be able to check that off.
Sure, yeah.
But it's not a check off. It is a continuum. Yeah. It is a continuum. It is definitely
that's got to be very, I don't want to say eye-opening, but that has to feel really just complete, because even though it's a continuum, that has to make you feel a little full, because that, to know that there's no end to it, almost feels, like I said, complete. Like, does that feel good?
Yes. You know, I don't think I've cried on here before.
Oh no.
but I can get a little bit teary thinking about it, in that I like my company. And you know, whatever is in my life, my company is okay.
Yeah.
And I've never felt like that before. I've never had that sense that, you know, I mean, I felt okay, and I'm, you know, I do stuff all the time, but you know, just thinking, you know, so I have a thing about tree houses. I love tree houses.
Here for that.
And there is a tree house that you can rent in North Georgia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll just wait. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to look it up and sign and do it for a weekend. And before I was like, oh, I'll just wait. I'll wait till I have somebody to go with, to do this, to that. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to book it whenever I can take the time for a weekend, or, you know, overnight or whatever. I'm just going to do it. And that doesn't scare me. It doesn't, it actually makes me pretty excited, the idea of it. And so I think what you were saying before, I was incredibly fortunate to be able to take the 6 days, and I get it. I understand that is not something that everybody can do. But what everybody can do is have a picture in their mind about what it is that they want to sort of manifest in some time for themselves. And take it in an afternoon, take it in a morning, take it in, you know, take yourself on a date.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they categorize that as lonely.
Yeah.
And that is so interesting to hear that, because you're the person that's inside your head more than anybody else. You know, like you're the only one that's collaborating with your mind, with your body, with your heart. Everything that you're doing, the decisions that you're making, come from here. You know, you may have maybe some exterior things that may provoke you to turn whichever way, but at the end of the day, it's coming from here and it's coming from in here. And so to not take that time seems almost reckless, right? And I'm saying it because I'm doing it.
Well, and I do it too.
And before you had this experience, that you are same boat. And so maybe just a little push. I hope, I mean, you have encouraged me to want to go and do these types of things, and hopefully y'all hearing this, and like you said, start small. Do a vision. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What truly do you want? What makes you feel complete? And maybe it's not a vacation. Maybe it's, you know, that time just for yourself.
Well, and the other thing that I will say too, the one thing that I had to do to make it feel okay for me was to frame this time where I knew that I was going to be safe, that I was going to be able to travel somewhere that was safe,
yes.
that I was going to be able to, eat safely by myself, get to places safely by myself, that it wasn't like I couldn't go somewhere just all by myself and have no agenda. That scares the crap out of me.
Yeah. Well, everybody's different too. Like I would have to do the exact same thing.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is if the idea of taking yourself out on a date scares you and makes you feel uncomfortable and puts you in that sort of fight or flight mode, then pick something else. Pick a morning where you go and you do something for yourself, or you stay at home
and just have a cup of coffee
and read a book or look at a magazine or watch something on TV that you haven't watched in a long time. Do it in small pieces. And the more comfortable you get with the small pieces, then you can get to the bigger times where you maybe go see a concert that you wanted to see, but you didn't have anybody else to
that wanted to go.
Yeah. And one of the things that I always said to myself was, am I going to feel worse about staying home and wishing that I went and did that than I would if I did it by myself? And if you think that you would feel worse about sitting at home and thinking, oh, I really wish I went, versus just going and seeing what it is, then that's kind of how I was looking at stuff. So it was small steps along the way.
Yeah. And everybody will get there in your own time.
Yeah. But and do what makes you feel good.
Cheers.
To
healthy solitude.
Healthy solitude.
And
now get the heck out of here.
And no. Heck no. I'm going, bye. Okay, I'm going to breathe.